up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And y'all, I know I missed last week. I missed reviewing episode 6. But last week, y'all, I was super busy. And I was like, if I don't get this review done by Friday at this time, it ain't getting done. So obviously, I didn't meet my deadline, so it didn't get done. So I'm going to do a quick, very quick, not really a recap, but just my thoughts on episode 6. And then we're going to get into the review and recap for episode 7. So if you're interested in my thoughts on episode 6 and 7, then stay right there. We're going to get right into those reviews.
Hey, Sister Girl on Films, you don't want to miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, Sister Girl on Films. Hey, Sister Girl on Films. Hey.
So I know a lot of people actually were not feeling episode 6 at all, but for me, y'all don't judge me, but I really enjoyed episode 6. It was probably one of my favorite episodes of the last few. For me, episode 6 was really kind of what I was hoping this series would be, which is a reboot, a reimagining of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but from a dramatic point of view. So maybe some different storylines, things like this. And I feel like episode 6 was a lot of that. We got to see more of Reed, who was played by Michael Ealy. I really liked what he's bringing to the show. He's kind of bringing a little bit of possible drama, maybe possibly an affair with Aunt Viv. So I am here for that. You know, add some spice to it, because right now Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil are looking like, you know, modern day Huxtables, which is okay, I guess. But for a show that's supposed to be drama, I ain't get no drama between them. So I like that we have the addition of Reed Broderick into the show. So, you know, we can kind of, you know, give a little bit more drama than what we've been seeing. And last episode, I really enjoyed the dramatic moments with Lisa doing the poem with her for her mother. I thought that was really emotional. It gave me I cried, you know, a little tear or two. I really enjoyed how Aunt Viv went off on Lisa's stepmother, honey. And then we found out the stepmother was the side chick. Oh, honey. Oh no. And then she tried to make the memorial for Lisa's mom all about her. Oh, honey. I was into episode 6. I was here for it. And then the moment with Carlton, when Will caught him and he was crazy high because he saw Will and Lisa talking in the courtyard. I kind of had an issue with him being able to really hear them so clearly, but I know sometimes we have to suspend belief to move the storyline forward. So okay, it is what it is. But I did enjoy, I forget the actor's name who plays Carlton, but I did like his performance in that scene. I feel like it was really emotional. I liked how him and Will are starting to bond, but on an emotional level. They still, you know, ain't all the way there, but they're closer than they were. So overall, I really enjoyed episode 6. Okay, it's one of my favorites. So if you didn't enjoy episode 6, I get it. You know, a lot of people didn't, but for me, it stuck the landing. Okay, so now let's move on to episode 7. So with episode 7, this episode was kind of boring for me, especially coming off how much I enjoyed episode 6. This one kind of was a little bit of a drag. So we didn't have Ashley in this episode again. Poor baby. Like, her little storyline of her having a crush on her, one of her girlfriends, fell flat because the girlfriend was not giving those vibes. She was really into Will. Ashley's little feelings with her, and we didn't see her this episode, child. So check on Ashley. Is she okay? Hopefully she ain't getting the Carlton stash, honey. Okay, she in there, you know, having a binge because her feelings is hurt. But somebody please go check on that baby, and hopefully she'll be back next episode. So we ain't got to worry about her. And then so we had Geoffrey. 2 episodes back to back. I'm here for it. But not for long. You know, Geoffrey this time around, you know, wanted to dig into the background of Reed Broderick, you know, find out a little bit about him to give Uncle Phil kind of the one up on this guy who he thinks is trying to pursue Aunt Viv. But for Reed, for now, although I feel like he's trying to pursue Aunt Viv as well, he's like, I'm just trying to help her with her career. And Aunt Viv is kind of like, at first, she was just like, you know, he's just trying to help me, you know, with my career. He saw the passion in me, in being an artist, and he supports my artistry. And Uncle Phil is trying to convince Aunt Viv, that he supported her artistry as well, when they were younger. And just, he apologizes that he doesn't support her as much. And he just kind of started focusing on his own goals and really stopped supporting her in hers. And I thought that they were going to be okay with it. But I feel like Aunt Viv was not really feeling it when Uncle Phil showed up at the art showing that she was at. And even though he tried to make it seem like it was a romantic move and he was trying to give them some alone time, Aunt Viv saw right through that. Like, Uncle Phil was being jealous. He saw that Reed was going to be there and he wanted to kind of, run an offense because he don't really trust Reed. Geoffrey has found out that Reed is kind of a womanizer and he may be, a user, letting women know that he can help them with their art career, but then nothing comes of it. So he don't really trust Reed. I don't feel like I trust Reed a whole lot either, but I am here for the possible fling and affair for Aunt Viv, okay? And at the end of the episode, it looked like she might be getting closer to maybe kind of testing temptation a little bit. So we'll see how that turns out. I don't think fans will like that if Aunt Viv does, slip up and cheats on Uncle Phil. But this is not your Fresh Prince, okay? This is a new generation's Fresh Prince. So we'll see how that goes. So that's kind of what was going on with Aunt Viv. Uncle Phil, this episode, he really didn't have a whole lot going on this episode. We now know that him and Lisa's dad are running against each other to be the DA. And him and Lisa's father both have told Lisa and Will that they do not want them to see each other. So it was really kind of giving me Romeo and Juliet vibes, but without the very sad ending. I hope we don't have the same type of ending as Romeo and Juliet, okay? And I feel like this episode was another episode where I feel like Jabari, I got to see him acting as Will, the character, and not imitating Will Smith, the actor. I was enjoying it. I felt like on a lot of levels, though, it was also giving me a whole lot of like Black Beverly Hills 90210. And I was like, I'm starting to feel like this show is really not for my demographic. But I did think it was very cute to see him and Lisa start to bond. But yeah, so, this episode was really more about Will and Lisa and them connecting, which, I wasn't mad at. Like I said, I do enjoy having the character of Lisa here early on in the series versus later on. So I wasn't mad at that, but, it didn't really move me. And I don't really see a whole lot of progress being made with the character development with Will. So it's just kind of like just a flat storyline for me, but, it is what it is. And then we have our friend Carlton here. Carlton he's probably the character that's given us the most development so far this season. He's starting to finally kind of get to that realization that even though he's in Bel-Air, he's kind of allowed his white friends to maybe be a little bit more loose with their racial and racist comments, whether it be against Black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, whomever ain't white, okay, or straight or male, okay. And so I thought it was interesting to see Carlton, tell Connor, he's sick of him. He doesn't really want to be his friend anymore unless he stops being racist and homophobic and sexist. And Connor wasn't, ready to do that. And I thought it was interesting that it took for Carlton to kind of get called out by the young Black girl, Aisha. Well, I think her name was Aisha. And her just being like, the other Black students, we feel like you really don't fool with us. And, you ain't even been to no Black student union meetings. I said, period. Okay. If you got a Black student union at your school, you got to go at least to one meeting, honey. You just can't not go to none of the meetings. Just one at least, if you don't become a member. So the fact that he was called out for that and they allowed the character of Carlton to really take that feedback and be like, you know what? She right. So I did like that shift in Carlton and how they kind of addressed it. So I'm curious to see how it will play out for the rest of the season. But so far, I am liking how they are writing this Carlton because I feel like of all the characters, he probably is the most the one with the most depth and the most going on, and the character that probably has the most opportunity for some development and some growth throughout the rest of the season. So I feel like they're doing a great job with Carlton. I feel like the actor who plays Carlton does an amazing job, and I am here for it. So I still hate Carlton. But I think that's a good thing that I hate him, because that speaks to the acting ability of the actor who plays him. And finally, we'll get to Hillary. So Hillary. So I kind of made a prediction, I think in my episode 4 or 5 review, that I feel like they're going to try to do like either like a sex tape or over sexualize something storyline for Hillary in this influencer house. And I was correct. So because at the end of episode 6, Hillary decided to kind of spice up her food content, you know, to kind of up her views and her engagement on social media. I think his name is Kylo, the guy whose house she's in. No, he took that footage, edited it, made it over-sexualized, and now Hillary initially was kind of not feeling, you know, the image, and she felt like that didn't really agree with her brand. And I love how Jazz, you know, had her back and was ready to check Kylo for her. But then Hillary just kind of showed her true colors when she heard Victoria's Secret was kind of interested in doing a brand deal with her, and she saw the money. And, you know, and I feel like Jazz lost a lot of respect for Hillary in that moment. Now, I'm not mad at her, honey. Get your money, get your coin however you need to. But I just thought it was interesting that she felt like Kylo had went too far, but then once she realized the notoriety she was getting from it, you know, a little bit of taste of that, you know, social media fame and the money, all of a sudden it was okay for her to have her body be exploited and, you know, kind of seen as it being body positivity and women empowerment. So I kind of knew that was going to be the route that they would take with Hillary. So it wasn't a shocker that it happened, but I do like how they addressed it, and I do like how they started to tie in Jazz into the storyline with him having maybe possibly a relationship with Hillary. But at the end of this, he was kind of pissed off, so I don't know how that's really going to turn out. But overall, episode 7 was boring. It was boring. I'm glad. One thing I will say, I'm glad that when the police showed up to break up the party at Will's, I was happy that it didn't turn into like a police brutality moment, because I'm over that. Like, I just don't have the mental capacity to deal with police brutality, the harming of young black boys by the police in any type of entertainment. It's just too much. We see enough of it in real life. I don't want to see it in my entertainment. So I'm glad that the most was Carlton not being believed that it was his house and, you know, being handcuffed. And I'm happy that, you know, Will allowed Lisa to go down there and just deal with the police so he wouldn't have to and be re-traumatized, because we already had a police brutality moment in the season. I don't feel like we need a whole nother one. We get it. So I do appreciate that they didn't really take that far, and they just kind of ended it where it was at. So I'm hanging on, y'all. We don't have that many more episodes left. I know it's a drag. People are not feeling it. Some people are loving the show. So I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag. Right now, the rating is between like, I think it's like 6.2 or something like that on IMDb. I didn't check on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm kind of on the fence with it because they give us some good episodes, and then the next one is just kind of like, what are we doing? So, but again, this episode was another one where I feel like it was introducing something new. It was bringing something new and fresh. It didn't try to recreate scenes and stuff from the original one. Although there was a scene where the kids were watching, like on social media, somebody was doing the Carlton dance, and I was like, oh, I mean, y'all just could have just kept that out of there. I thought it was a lame attempt at fan service, but it is what it is. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode, episode 7, and even episode 6. You know, what are you guys thinking about the show so far? And are you going to stick around for the remaining 4 episodes? And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see y'all next time for something else. Thank y'all so much for y'all support, and I'm going to see y'all next time.
Hey, look, I talk my shit and keep it honest, keep it independent. I hear them hating, but that's only cause they inconsistent. He said the weapon wouldn't prosper, now they wouldn't form. I'm about to golf, I hit the middle and it's good and warm. I got the $1 million motors.